Ilan is what's called the Kabat. He is the chief of security for the region of Eshkol. Under his command are other a whole team of security officers responsible for their own communities, but he's responsible for the entire region, for the entire thing. His role, which he can explain, but I can say that his role is crucial because these on the front lines, anything that has to do with areas of security, and by the way, Eshkol is the region that has the largest border with Gaza and also has a border with Egypt. So they're in a very, very vulnerable area. Anytime you hear of these tunnels, for example, that are being found and destroyed, that's in this region under his command. Without any further ado, welcome Chief of Security, Ilan. I'm going to really jazz this up for you.
Okay, my name is Ilan Isaacson, actually Canadian born, but that's Toronto. I've been living here for the last 43 years, but my parents are South African, so we went to Toronto after 3 years. My mother said they wanted to put gas in my car. I'm not staying here anymore. So anyway, after 3 years, we went back to South Africa. In 1975, I came to this area with my parents. And I've been here since then, which is 43 years. Anyway, just about our region, like Shmuel was telling you, we are 60 kilometers on the Gaza border, 40 out of 65 kilometers, and on the Egyptian border we are 20 kilometers. I don't know if you heard about a few minutes ago while a big blast. That's mainly the fighting between ISIS and the Egyptian army. We're very close also to the Egyptian border. Here to the Gaza border, we're 7.5 kilometers. From the Egyptian border, we're about 15 kilometers. But there's actually a lot of fierce fighting in the last 2 years on the border between the Egyptian army and ISIS. Things can happen here within days. One day everything's okay, the next day it changes 180 degrees. At the moment, we've had 3 years of quiet, more or less. But that quiet didn't stop them from digging tunnels. The 3 last tunnels that have been blown up in the last 3 months are in this region. Tactical tunnels, which slowly we are learning how to find these tunnels, which are very hard if they're 40 meters below ground. But the technology is getting better all the time, but it's taking time. Actually, the main adventure now is to build a wall and a new fence on the Gaza border to try, mainly to try and prevent them from building the tunnels. But it won't prevent them from shooting missiles, and that's why the bomb shelter is not, as you can see, it's not the only bomb shelter here. But you can see how many kids are here just behind you. Each bomb shelter is between 15 and 20 kids can go into a bomb shelter. All the exercises that we've done in the last year, what do we do? In America and Canada, you do an exercise for earthquakes. Here, I don't, and fire drills. Here, I also should do it, but I do usually drills of firing missiles. Now, if they're in the classrooms, it's not a problem, because in each class, if you can see here, there's a bomb shelter. At the end of each classroom, we built a bomb shelter. They're new bomb shelters in the last 3 years. But it's a problem when the kids are outside on the grounds. So the white bomb shelter comes from the army. But also the army has a limit. And we always are getting and asking, but to put a bomb shelter for each 15 kids, 20 kids, 15 seconds, between 15 and 20 seconds, That's the time they have here, when they hear the siren, we need quite a bit of bomb shelters. So that's where all you guys and Shmuel has been helping us in the last couple of years. Just in the last 2 months, I think we number 12, 13, just in the last 2 months, right? That's only the last 2 months, 12 bomb shelters in different places in the municipality. I'm not talking about all the help that has been given us in the last 2-3 years. What else can I tell you? Gaza. Gaza, there are 2 million people living in Gaza. It's controlled by the Hamas, which is not the most extreme party in Gaza. There are more extremes, like the Muslim Brothers. We actually don't know what will happen tomorrow in Gaza. If we knew, maybe we can have one-day peace, but every couple of days things change there, and not only in Gaza, also in Syria and also in Lebanon, also in Egypt. At the moment, it's good for us that the President Sisi is there, but he can be overthrown, and it can be a Muslim government. And then again, there's a connection between Gaza and Egypt. At the moment, the hate between the Egyptian government and Gaza is much more between Israel and Gaza, even with the Hamas. If the Hamas needs something from Egypt, they come to Israel for help. Luckily, they don't work together, or sometimes some countries or some different organizations, but it's not all the Arabs against Israel. First of all, it's all the Arabs against themselves. But we always under threat. So in Egypt, like I said, Gaza, 2 million people. They have a border with Egypt, which is closed 100% for the last 3 years since Sisi's regime. There's almost no connection. They always talk about it, but there's really no good feelings between them. Then they have the border with Israel, and then they have the sea. So instead of trying to make peace, they build tunnels. I had a visit maybe a year ago. He was the finance minister of the European Community. And after Protective Edge in 2014, America said they'll give $700 million, the European Community $700 million, and the Arab countries, Dubai and Qatar and all those, $7 billion. To tell you the truth, America, what they promised they gave, what the European promised they gave. The Arab countries gave maybe 10-15% of what they promised. They always do it because they don't like them. They just maybe vote for them in the UN, but they don't really like the Palestinians. The Palestinians, they don't benefit anything from them. So anyway, he asked me where, I told him, the $700 million you gave, where do you think it went to? I said it all went to the Hamas, and with that money, they are building tunnels each tunnel is tens of millions of dollars. Now we supply Gaza every day about 1,000 trucks. It's gone down in the last 2 months because money problems. But out of the 1,000 trucks, 140 trucks are cement, 400 trucks are stones to prepare the cement. We give them all the rods, metal rods. So all the tunnels that they're building is with our material that we're giving to build houses, schools and things like that, hospitals. So, and the sand, they dig from our sand, so they're also using our sand. So it's kind of funny that we're allowing all this material, but if we don't allow the material, then the whole European European community, the UN, you're not letting supplies into Gaza. So we are very careful with that, and we allow everything to go into Gaza, knowing that a lot of it is going to be used against us. But we can't. We don't have anyway, everyone thinks as us as the troublemakers. So in Gaza, they're not starving. They're not starving, but they are poor. But they're not starving. Electricity is given by Israel. Electricity we give about 6 hours because they don't pay. If the Arab countries were so, if the Palestinians were so important for the Arab countries, they would participate, but they don't participate. Water also comes from Israel. They don't participate. All the different projects that Israel wants to do with Arab countries to help Gaza, no one wants to really participate. So at some time, we see in 2008, we had the first conflict with Gaza, 2012, 2014. And to tell you the truth, we're waiting for the next conflict. My job is to get our municipality, which is from north to south 65 kilometers. It's quite a big area, not compared to what you know in Canada, but the whole of Israel is the size of Vancouver Island. But to get our kids, our different villages, we have 32 villages here, Mushavim and Kibbutzim, ready for the next conflict. That's my only job.
Please share this video, and on YouTube, click the button below to become a subscriber.